like I really don't belong. I can't explain it. When I close my eyes, I see a strange reality. Am I dreaming, or on the edge of remembering? Dreaming, or on the edge of remembering. Who will you be tomorrow? And what are you today? Okay, darlings, we're back on YouTube. I know, it's been a long time. So, for those of you who come across me accidentally, I better let you know right now, my streams are just long and long because I just keep going. I don't edit. So here is your chance to learn how to use the fast forward button and just move forward if you don't like what I'm talking about, or everything's too slow, because that's what I do with your streams. I want to go to the end of some things. It's like, all right, you know what? I've been using this kind of thing for years. I don't need to see every single stroke, and I don't have time for ASMR. I don't have time looking at a lot of stuff just because, like, I've already done it, or if I want it, I can do it, and I don't have any problem falling asleep or spacing out or catching a brain buzz. So, if you don't like it, well, you know, I mean, of course, change the channel. There's a million of these things here. I mean, who needs TV anymore? Well, I don't have TV, but I'm fine with that. All right, so let me make sure I've got everything here. I don't want to miss... Well, here we go live. Where's my chat? Okay, chatting might be a problem. I have really bad eyes. So if you're hearing me, please chat in caps. That's what I have everybody on Twitch do. And that way I can see you. But usually I can bring up the Twitch chat, and I don't seem to see a chat here for who here. Come back to live. Latest. That's now, right? Flowing into the flow. That's because I just want people to know right from the start. I talk about energy a lot. I see the world in terms of energy, and I see everything as part of divinity, even if it doesn't look divine to whoever you are at this time. So I'm one of those people. If you want to talk about religion, no. I'm a spiritual person to the core. Like we have a choice. But I am not religious. Don't bring that here. And that's only if you're going to chat live, obviously. If you're just going to watch, I don't care what your beliefs are. And you can always mute the stream, which is an option. Okay, so let me explain what's going on here. This has already been through a bunch of different things. I am working on a painting, and it's a multimedia painting. It's over there, and it'll be here in just a little bit. One of the things I've been trying to do is create eyelids for these tile eyes. The whole thing was inspired by 3 tiles that I got from my brother. Tiles that they used to do their bathroom floor. The coolest floor I've ever seen. So I wanted to sample those tiles. And as soon as I saw them and the different shades, it was like, I see eyes. I'm standing on a floor of eyes with silver eyeballs. So cool. Anyway, I got them inspired. One thing led to another. 3 eyes, their texture to finish it. I really was missing real clay. But I don't have a kiln, and also I'm doing this on something. I've already put a bunch of medium on, a lot of acrylic, and you can't fire that. So, air dry clay. Now, I have some air dry clay, air dry paper clay, and I thought that would be perfect. Well, it was really hard to work with, and I could not get it as smooth as I want for this. It's got to be super smooth. I found some stuff for kids. Air dry, fairly white, and as we painted, I just needed to be any color actually, because it's going to be painted. But the texture, it's got to be able to be water smoothed with my fingers, and so I finally got it, and that's what we're going to be working on today. I've been working on other aspects of it, and they had to come first. Well, you'll see that later. In the meantime, what I did was I took a sample of that clay and I squashed it into this medallion, and I made this lotus medallion with a little, swirl for infinity, the cycles of life, all that. And now, oh yes, and earlier today I put gold leaf on the edges just to give it a holiday-ish touch, because I'm turning this into a gift. It came out so cool. I have some felt that'll be fastened to the back, and some polished hemp string that I'm going to use to make the hanger. Now what the experiment is, and this is still an experiment, because I know no matter how it comes out, it's still going to be good enough to make a little gift to slip in a holiday card. But I bought this sample 2-ounce bottle of triple thick. It's a coating. It's supposed to make clay look like it's been glazed. So there is something I need to do on a few of my paintings, and I haven't been able to do it because of what they do chemically to the metal. It's just been terrible on my foils, and any foil that has another color in it, it just dissolves it completely off the foil and leaves it with its base color. It's like, I need to try something else. So this is my last chance with this. If it discolors this gold, it's like, well, we can never touch that to this other thing. It might be fine, though, on this. I call this Chinese gold because I got this gold foil from China. And I have a US gold, which I call a soft gold because it just falls apart. But it's a different texture gold and a different color, and does not have as high of a sheen. It's not pressed the same way. So so far, they've been reacting pretty much the same to everything I've tried on them. They just some look better than others. Like the hard gold looks better with this glossy accent. It magnifies it nicely. It's beautiful. But on my gold paint, for example, like what I used here, this is just gold paint. My gold ink, rather, it turned it green, which was not what we want. And I need to know what it's going to do before I put it on the lips of a sun deity. Right now it's all gold and copper and some black in the center. And it's really cool looking. It's got these stripes and movement on it. And if I go ahead and put a medium on it, it's all going to become flat copper and gold. Not liking that. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. Now, you know, there's no chat available to me on my pad. Is that how it is for everybody? I don't know. This is a very old Kindle. I could go get my other one and see if that'll work better. Now you see why I do not, there's some things I just don't do here. I don't edit, which is why it's nice to know that there is a fast forward way through these videos once they're recorded. You can't do anything while it's live, but you know, when you come back and see this later, zip on through. Now I am non-commercial, at least at this time. That doesn't mean YouTube isn't going to put something on here for themselves, but I'm not signed up in any revenue programs. I know it would be nice to make a living doing this, and lots of people do, but I'm not an art teacher, so I can't like instruct you. And when I do cooking shows, which haven't happened lately because I don't have a way of getting this computer into where I cook, it's I'm not teaching cooking. Matter of fact, I might be able to teach you bad cooking. What not to do in the kitchen. No, actually, I have a lot of shortcuts, and I've learned over the years because I'm an old lady. Oh, and that's another warning. You know, on Twitch, I'm an Olga, old lady giving advice. I am a certified life coach, which is fairly meaningless. It's like, think of it as a youngish grandmother who's lived long enough to be able to give you some more practical information about navigating Earth, or at least the United States Earth, and not all of it. Like, I've only been through Texas. I would not deign to give you information on how to live in Texas, or where in Texas to live. Okay, this stuff is indeed super thick. And right now it is like piling up and staying there. Now I was wondering if this was going to be another version of the glossy accent, because it's very dimensional. It's either, this is different. This is more manageable with the brush. Oh, and the other, I feel like using a brush is not always the best idea. Come here, we don't want that. Oh no, I lifted the pink. Lay back down. Dang. Well, an unexpected imperfection. We're just going to have to live with. This is Yeah, it's not one of my favorite brushes. I'm not even sure why I have it, because it doesn't look like one I would go out of my way to buy. So I'm guessing, even though it's a squirrel brush, looks like it must have been one of those that came in a set. I'm not big on sets, unless I'm starting something new. I have so many brushes. I'll usually just pick up singularly the brushes I use the most. I was shopping last night on Temu, whatever, it's X now, because I had a credit and I wanted to use up my credit, and I really needed a winter nightgown, so I went to Temu and looked at my credit and went, all right, I should be able to manage a winter nightgown in this website for that. And I did. I found a winter nightgown that looks decent, and actually I would say the Walmart pricing, same thing at Walmart, same price, not a big deal. But then there was these are super cheap, and I have plans for these because these hold up really well under a couple of different mediums, no color change, and they retain that high gloss. So we're gonna go ahead. I got one of each and a red. I thought, the red could be very interesting, something this shiny. Let's see if the color stays on that. If the color sticks with all of these different mediums, I have a way to incorporate some of the high gloss color, the metallics, They have other colors available in the metallics. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they have to offer in terms of usability. Beautiful to look at and cheap to buy doesn't mean anything. Anyway, the point wasn't what I got at Timuc, because, it's like everybody's picking stuff up from there these days. And it's really hard not to, once you start looking around at the introductory offers and stuff. Only because they have such a wide variety of crap. You're going to find something that you could use, and you're going to look at the price and you go, oh my God, let's see, for $20, it's like shopping at the penny auctions on eBay, and free shipping. $20, let's take a chance. So people do, and of course your first order is really delightful for the most part, because you get a lot of, depending on what you bought. Anyway, I was delighted because what I always look for, almost always, are art supplies. And I have very little money, so I wanted the best bang for my buck. I found some stuff that was really useful. I found some disposable brushes, which I get many uses out of for doing fine lines, because they're basically made for people who do nails professionally. And I got a whole bunch of brushes, like 6 brushes, $1.67. And I repeated that. It's like a common price for that. Oh, my deaf friend. Okay. I got that on T-Rex. Okay. I got messages and didn't know it. That's my 96-year-old neighbor. I'll let her leave a voicemail. Oh, you see, I started having a social life locally. There's birthdays and all of that I'm participating in by baking cakes and Okay. Anyway, let's get that word. See? Okay, so where was I? This stuff. Now I don't remember. Anyway, if it comes up again, we'll mention it. Oh, yes, okay, that's right, Temu. Temu. Okay, so I used up my credit, and I got a bunch of little things I really can use, because I use them all the time. And then something else came up, and I realized, what the hell is this? It was... I don't know if you've ever been to a gun show, but a gun show is a real eye-opener about a certain portion of Americans. Not a good one. Definitely not a good example. I mean, if I was someone from Europe coming here and going to a gun show, I would be scared and not feel welcome in this country at all, because one of the things I saw at a gun show, a lot of hate, and when I say a lot of hate, I'm not talking political necessarily. I'm talking about just like general, get away from my property, get away from my land, get away from me, get away from... You know, if you think you can do this and get away with it, it's like, who the hell is threatening you, man? You live in the country. And I used to live in the country, so I know what I'm talking about there. Like North Carolina, 7 miles in from the main road. I get being secluded, and I just picked up another little bit of that. I'm going to have to fix that. But these are like signs for these people to put out in their yards. It's serious. About what they're going to do if you trespass. It's not just like no trespassing signs. These are things with outright, they're spitting at you, all right? They're so angry and hostile. You see it, you're going to feel like, where the hell am I? Is this America? I've never seen things like that. Sorry. So it's a little nerve-wracking. Wait, let me see. Oh no. Oh dear. My friends and problems for them. I hate seeing people go through things that are hard to go through. Okay, so what I've discovered about this brush is it's crap. We're throwing it away. It keeps shedding. That's twice. It's dropped hair. And that's a sign of either a severely old, dried out brush or a crappy brush. So since I've had it probably for a decade or more, I'm gonna guess the first idea, it's just crappy brush to begin with, and then just really dried out and falling apart. So I'm gonna have to come back and fix that. Maybe I should do that right now before this clear stuff dries completely. All right, that happens to be, I know, Lime Green by Liquitex. So I am going to get Where's my finest point? Ah. I knew I had some out here. Okie dokie. I think I'm going to leave the sizing in it. I'm not going to wash it out. I need the really super fine point. And look at that. I think we've got enough right there. Without even having to squeeze out a drop. Okay. Okay. Now I will move on to another. This is a much better brush, but it's also ancient. This one I had a problem with. The enamel is breaking off after all these years. This is a Robert Simmons brush from its Sienna line. It's nice quality. It's not real hair, which is one of the reasons I got it. So let's continue. I would leave that like a dewdrop. That looks kind of cool. I wonder if it'll stay or merge. Now this is supposed to give it a ceramic-like glaze, as if it was a fired real ceramic. Well, it is a real ceramic, but it's just not. I don't know if they call it that, if it's just air-dry clay. I'm not sure. Ceramic might apply just to fired clay, and I really don't know. Interesting question. For me, yeah. I just have not contemplated that. Now this, what looks like a flower, is actually a mandala. I pressed it into the clay, a template of it, into the clay. And for texture, I rolled a pencil, like, you know, old-fashioned hexangular pencil. You know, like we had to use when we were kids. Not the round ones that we get now for art. And that was able to push the template into the clay and give it a texture at the same time. Then, after I removed the template, I went back in with something, I don't remember now, and made, I don't think I used the point of the pencil, but that would work just as well. I have some clay tools here. One of them is I call it my egg poker because it's a poker. Now I have to look at, what is it, YouTube to see if anybody's writing. No, okay. But that's where I can post emotes. So if I want to talk to you guys, I have to have the browser open. All right. And if I want to see what I look like, I have to go to this Streamlabs. Yeah, another reason I usually go through Twitch is because I've got 1,400 followers there. And just a couple hundred here, I think. And the number doesn't mean anything to me, actually, but the higher number does mean I usually have someone in the room to chat with. That's okay. I am going to paint whether the cameras are on or not, because it's the painting that matters to me. And right now, this experiment is going to inform some future art. And I probably could have accomplished the same thing by just making a rolled out bar of clay, letting it dry, and then putting all my stuff on it. But it wouldn't be so much fun. Or pretty. Because I do have something along that line on a little canvas. Yeah, stuff is really nicely dimensional, definitely. Even a thin brushing looks like that will dry super nice and shiny. Acrylics need help with that. They're just so matte. I think it's probably good for photographs. But I don't know. My eye doesn't enjoy that as much. Sets up very nicely. Oh dear. A little more there. Oh, I think that was a little droplet. Yeah, I was. Dewdrop no more. We can use the other stuff. Very clear stuff. But I think that is doing all right. And this brush is definitely superior. All right. This is what I was using for testing. Boring, right? My little test panel. So this beautiful color, I don't know if you can see it. These beautiful colors, the beautiful magenta in there. As soon as I hit it, it turns into your basic colors. It dissolves the color on it. And that has just been hugely disappointing. So here we go again. I'm going to try it with this other medium, and just as bad as everybody else. Yeah, just wiped out the color. 1, 2, 3. It's got the beautiful copper under there, but the magenta, all the subtle tones are history. Well, that answers that. Now, someone recommended 2-part epoxy resin, but aside from exposure to bad fumes for my lungs, I don't think that's going to work either, because my clear nail polish did the same thing as the water-based stuff, and it's clearly, you know, a chemical issue. Everything just dissolves it. So that's why I ordered the little sample size of the red chunky glitter. If that stays true, I have the answer. I'll just work with that, and I can overlay the sun's lips, and we'll have some accentuated color. In fact, if I could make those lips red, that would be actually kind of funny as hell. Okay. Some things cannot be avoided. Okay, so where are we? Ugh, gold on my face. This hairdo is due to static. I gave up. I don't fight it anymore. Just go with it. All right. This is just not going to go anywhere. We're going to have to accept the fact that we've got our basic metallic colors when it comes to working with foils. Anything else? The blues, the blacks, the greens, all that stuff on foil, it looks like it's just going to be dissolved. So let's hope for the best with the next sample coming in. Hello, and I can't actually read what you're saying, so hold on a second. I will go over to my computer. Oh, wonderful. Yes, this is air dry clay. And it was my experiment with this new clay I just got and I don't have a kiln. I used to have a kiln, I don't anymore. I live in a little apartment. So, yeah, but I'll show you what I'm doing and why I'm going through all of this. This is a bit more metaphysical than a mandala flower. So what I needed the clay for, and that's what I'm going to be doing this afternoon, my first time, I am making eyelids. Now, I can see your chat from across there, but my eyes are very bad. So after you, and I do appreciate you, by the way, number one, leaving something, and also making a whole paragraph, and then I can just come over and see it instead of one line at a time, and I have to go back and forth because I get dizzy. I am going to go get my Kindle and see if I can access the chat on the Kindle. This old Kindle, it doesn't do that. So you over there, bad Kindle, bad. I had my SimCity ready to go. Okay, YouTube. Go to my channel. My channel, yes, mine. Live. Okay, we're live. Oh, click on live. I think. Live. Let's go to live. I don't see the chat where I can access it and talk with you that way. I just see my work. That's boring. Okay, well, I don't know. I will try and read. I don't mean to take you from your work. Oh, don't worry. That's why we have chats here. My work is, only one part of my work is evident on the surface and the other is more cosmic. So you can't interfere with what I'm doing. I'm an Olga, old lady giving advice. So I do that, and I also play. And that's what I do and teach, playing. I don't teach art or the occasional cooking. I do teach how to play and recommend it highly. And I think one of the best things that anybody can play with is clay. This is made for kids, And that's what's so cool about it, because being that it's made for children, it's pretty much non-toxic as they can get it. And that's saying a lot, because actually there's a lot of bad stuff in clay, so you never want to inhale clay dust because it's got things like asbestos and arsenic and all kinds of things in it. Not intentionally, it's just the nature of clay. I'm taking a break from writing an article from my website. Oh, well, tell me about your website. I should have one, I don't. I wrote a couple of books, and I'm getting ready to write my third, but I suck at advertising. I just love the doing of it, and that's what I usually end up doing. See, you have a name, so that doesn't tell me what occupies your mind the most. Damn, why can't I see a chat here? If I was live watching somebody else, I couldn't. Open app. Well, are you not open? You're weird. To sign into chat. Oh, that's going to Streamlabs? How many times do I have to sign in? Oh, yeah, that's one of the problems of here. That's again one of the things I would need another person to manage that. Let them click all the buttons and let me just, be the artist. There was a day, after the years, that I did that, but that was 40 years ago when I had more energy. And that was my job, promoting myself. Now, Okay, you go there, you go there. So there's playback open up. How do you open up the app? Yeah. Don't know. Okay, one of the things I like about using real clay is that I can wipe it off here. I can take a mistake and erase it. Wait, let me go see what you wrote. That's very cool. That's very cool. I have, I don't drink myself. Actually, I love alcohol, and I want to try one of those, micro cocktails in a bubble. I forget what the name is, but you know what I'm talking about. I'd love to try one of those. A bubble of Cosmopolitan, or even better yet, Haley's Irish Cream. Sure. I have worked in bars, but as the bartender. I've also worked conventions and gone to a lot of them. not in alcohol or hospitality, actually, in art supplies. But I love those things. I love the atmosphere of those things. Like, I have to go to one of them. I haven't been to one in a long time. You know, convention of this or that, like screen printers or, oh, one I've always wanted to. Have you ever been to the food one? The like International Food Festival for the wholesalers, retailers, I don't know. It's for the restaurant industry, I think. These glasses are not working. I got the cataract surgery and I don't like my new lenses. My focal point used to be 6 inches away, and I had 8 pairs of glasses that took care of the rest. So there were some decorative, fancier frames, but now, focusing is just, it sucks. If you haven't had it, save up for the more expensive lenses. They're supposed to be better. I don't know how much better. There's no guarantee, apparently, but you don't hear anything bad about it until after you have it done. What's with that? No, it sounds like we have a lot in common then. I love writing, but I'm not the kind of writer that writes every day. I don't have a passion that way. I get a story in my head that I feel has to be told, and when the story gets to a point where it has to be told, I tell it. And then years can go by and I don't really have a great urge to write. I did more like as a young person, but then I got into writing songs. So it was all musical stuff, writing songs. And that was my business for a while. And then I did have to promote myself. And I also promoted others. But I did not stay in that forever. I got married and it's weird what marriage does to people. Their insecurities come out like crazy. So yeah, I gave it up rather than bring any kind of disruptions to my brand new marriage. And then when we divorced, I went back to music. Or entertaining anyway. But I was a lot older and it was in a different state, different rules. So instead of performing so much, I got into songwriting competitions in LA. Then I got back to a dream I wanted since I was 11, got to live on a farm for 17 years in North Carolina. So I've been all over the country. It's been great. Just every time I move somewhere, it's like my whole life changes, including my profession or my hobbies. So while I was married for 22 years, my ex was an artist, and we couldn't really afford for both of us to be artists. So he got the supply money, and I took joy in a bunch of other things. Like, we had a bunch of dogs and a cat and cats. So farming, not farming, but huge garden farming. And making my own herbal medicines. I mean, for me, it was the life. Baking every day. And that was something I dreamed about doing growing up. So I got to live my dream for a while. And now that I'm on my own, I just love painting all the time and doing multimedia paintings. So I'm having the time of my life right now. And I'm going to be in a gallery for the entire month of May. So I'm psyched. I just have to get everything framed. I already have like 30 paintings ready to go. And if some of them are framed, but most of them are not. And I want to finish some of the bigger ones because a lot of mine are more like 8 by 10, 12 by 14. So I'm working a little bigger. 16 by 20 now is my, like, what I'm working on. Oh, no, never, no conventions? Oh, oh, Washington. Born and raised in Seattle. That's really funny because Seattle was someplace I thought I wanted to move to. It just turned into North Carolina because that was where the opportunity opened up first. But I was looking for the place that got the most rain. I love rainy days. So I was hoping to go to a place that did not have very much sunshine. A lot of rainy days. And actually, I'm on medication that makes sun very bad for me. So I love days like today. It's overcast now. It's supposed to rain. Only bummer is I have to go out Monday and it's supposed to be very, very windy and rainy. Luckily, it's not that far or for that long. I don't know why I keep looking at my Kindle as if I'm going to see the chat. I can't see the chat. It's not showing up. I have to look on the big computer. Well, in Seattle, you have a convention center, do you not? You need to take a look online and see what's coming to the convention center nearest you. So you don't have to go on vacation. You can just do it for a day. Because I could not travel to them, but I did live in, I lived in Connecticut, and I lived in New York, and I lived in California, Southern California. So I got to some conventions, not a million of them or anything, but everyone I attended was just so cool. It's like looking at videos on, factories, how they make things. Like if you want right now, it's really easy to find videos on how they make candy canes. So, I like seeing how things are made. Okay, I'll turn you off because you are not going to be any use while I'm here. Go to sleep, go to sleep. Okay. I'll put this back down just for sealed. You gotta merely make sure they're sealed. All right. We must have the right length before I start forming. You're gonna look so much better with eyes. Eyelids. Oh. I'm not sure. I'm sorry, I lost track of the yeah, Loving the Rain. That was Loving the Rain. Have you ever wanted to leave because of that? Oh, well, I'm glad that I can stimulate a good memory for you. You have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for hanging out. Don't crack now. I need you to stay moist until we get to where we want to be. Stay moist, my friend. Fortunately, the finish is very resilient. Oops. That's not the water, that's the hemp. All right, let's see. No, not you. You stay up there. We must make this the right way. Okay. Just have to keep this wet until we're ready to work on it. We don't have to measure it all over again. Oh, I'll stand up again. Oh. Oh, okay. Ah. Yeah, I hate that I don't catch the chat in time to respond before people leave, but thank you. And yeah, convention centers can be fun. Some of them you have to go at least twice because you can't see it all in one day, and others are super easy to get it through and can be boring after one day. So it just depends on the subject and the number of and the interesting vendors. I went to this fun, I think it was called a House and Home And at that point in my life, I was a house owner, a homeowner. And my husband and I went to check out what was new in the area and all that. And we had a good time. And you can see the difference in the vendors, you know, people who are, they've got showmanship, you know, they do a really good job of representing their company because they're really enthusiastic. In fact, I believe that's exactly how Rachel Ray got her gigs. She was doing that exact thing. She was demonstrating at a cookware convention or something. That was the product she was repping, and cooking, you know, live all day. That can be really, really tiring. But it was an art form for her. She was very engaging. She got a lot of sales. People loved checking her out, and that's exactly what the company hired her for. I don't think at the time she had a clue that it was going to lead to fame and fortune, but it did in her case, so you never know. When you are enthusiastic about your product, no matter what it is, it could be kitty litter. People with enthusiasm sell way more than people who can't be bothered. And you know what I mean. You go to a store, you want to ask some questions about a product, and the people ask like, well, first of all, they're doing you a tremendous favor. Instead of it being the other way around, like, you know, hey, thank you for coming here, and we hope you spend your money here instead of next door. Well, a lot of people don't quite get that. They're not cut out for the job. But everybody is cut out for something. If they listen to their inner voice, they will find it. Some people are more introverted. They're not going to be the kinds that you're going to find demonstrating how to use a crock pot at a convention. That's good, because they probably would not do the best job. They should be about the same size, but they should not look the same because they're expressing different sides. One is crying. That's this side. And this is more open and loving. And we cannot block that up after all it took to make that curve right there, exactly as I did it. We can't screw that up now. Let's see you back up a little. There we go. I just have to clean that up. Oh, you were a double, eh? Aye. Okay. Oh, let me say hello to Aloha. What the hell? What the hell did they prescribe? What were you sick from? Didn't even know you were sick. Ugh. I have to get some clean water. I'll be right back. And I have to go over there to read the computer now because I can't seem to bring up YouTube's chat on my Kindles. So therefore, please try to keep all your thoughts in one paragraph so I don't keep going back and forth to read it. sicker from a doctor medicine than from the actual sickness. Yes, but you haven't mentioned what the sickness is or the medicine, so I don't know exactly what you're talking about. Although it's not unusual to have bad medicine. I wish I had spent money on the cat now. Okay. Well, if the medicine is what's making you sick and you have stopped, you are starting to feel better. Yes? You said you survived, thank goodness. A friend of mine is trying to help me find shelves, and so she left this out there for me. I don't think I think this is actually supposed to be something else. But I will make it into shelves because we have all of these rocks here, and I've got a lot of rocks that we could use doing some double-decker stuff, but not while I'm doing this show. Nay, nay. We're redoing everything. All right, so back to, what did you say? I wish I had spent money on the cat now. Okay. I wish you had too. Take a notification. Oh, all right. Well, yes, if it is making you sicker. I mean, I was given a sulfa drug for a sinus infection that nearly killed me. So far, it's twice I was given medicine for my sinus infections that nearly killed me. Twice. Cipro nearly killed me the last time with gastric and horribleness for a month. And that was the first time. God, how many times have they really... God damn, yeah, you're right. Doctors should not be prescribing medicine. And you know who should be? Pharmacologists. It's just that nobody can afford them. Someone who knows the medicine will look at all your stuff and go, this person's kind of likely to have this kind of reaction. Maybe we should try something else. Sulfa drugs made me hurt so bad in every joint that I couldn't move out of my bed. It just hurt to be alive. And then it just happened that I noticed I was starting to feel better. It's like, oh, finally, fog is lifting enough. I can get up. I can get myself some soup, and I'll take my next dose. And when I took the next dose, I found myself back in the, oh my God, the pain is excruciating. And it turned out, oh my God, it was killing me physically. And if I'd continued taking it, I wouldn't be here. And that's like, all right, great. Got a sinus infection. We're not doing that again. Doctors do not. They don't study medicine. They study illnesses. They learn what the current way of dealing it with whatever it is. What's the current method of handling this? The current method of handling that. And if they don't have a lot of personal experience with what that is, and a lot of feedback from patients who tried that medicine, you may not get good results. And that goes for all medicines. I am sure that when the doctor put me on Cipro, he had no intention or desire to see me get as sick as I did. And et cetera, et cetera. So it's up to us to be aware of our bodies and what's working, what's not. The shrink drugs they have these days, maybe or maybe they will help you, maybe they will not. They got a bunch out there that for years have been giving people suicidal thoughts. And they knew it. And they didn't admit it because they would have been taken off the market. And then when people found out it did, they were taken off the market. Or they started marketing things. Well, they all give you suicidal thoughts. They can all give you suicidal thoughts. Oh, really? Well, I guess we better tell people about that. That, hey, you're taking this for depression, but it may make you want to die instead of feel better. If you start to feel worse, get off it now. Playing with brain chemistry, playing with hormones, all that shit affects how you think. So, I was given something for my hot flashes, which surprised me. It was Wellbutrin. And I took my dose at bedtime as prescribed and woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning with a panic attack, a full-on, holy shit, panic attack, which Glenn kind of appreciated because then he felt like I could understand when he has one. It's like, I do understand. I know what a panic attack is. I shouldn't be having one. I'm just trying to stop hot flashes. But Wellbutrin is well known to be given to people suffering from depression and or anxiety. But it's one of those cross-label things these days where anything that's been prescribed for anxiety can now be prescribed for hot flashes. And that's what happened with me. So we learned real fast that psychiatric drug. It was not the best answer. We have to watch out what we put in our mouth. Don't take anything without looking into it, because doctors don't always know best. When I think about doctors now, and you know, I hate talking bad about doctors because they work real hard to save lives. They don't try to kill people. But that aside, how many times did doctors almost kill me this year? Just this year. And this was not an exceptional year. I've had multiple years where doctors seemed like they were going out of their way to try and kill me. It wasn't their fault. It was just it was a guessing game. They don't know how you're going to react to certain medications. They give you the medication, you try to be a good patient, you take it, and then you almost die. Yay! And they don't know. It's not part of your history. So doctors aren't like evil people. They become doctors because they want to help people. For real. Especially nowadays. If they've become a doctor nowadays, when there's not that lucrative practice to look forward to like 20 years ago, they're there to help you. They just aren't always capable of doing that. So no matter what, it's still our responsibility to give complete feedback about how we react to things, and make sure they know. Make sure they know if we have a bad response to anything, so they can cross that off the list of medications, so other doctors don't try and sneak it in on you. All right, those are two different moods, right? We got the tears coming down on this side. This one's going to be more sunshiny. We are missing yellow. And that's been bothering me because we have to have the focal point. The focal point dead center is not a good idea. Focal point, yeah, that's very central. The whole design is very centric. But I knew that was going to be the way. I had this flow in mind for the human body. And the human body is built this way. So this is also basically just representing from the heart to the top of the head. So there's not a whole bunch of anything else. So we do need to get the yellow, the glow in here. But that's going to become the focal point once I do that. So I have to think about this. We could put, I don't know, golden inside the mouth. But see, this whole thing is supposed to represent the throat chakra. Well, we are going to leave this dry. I needed to have this shape before I pop it off and sand it, or do whatever I want to do it, and then glue it down, because it's not going to stay the way it is. Once it dries, it's going to shrink just very slightly because it's clay. And hopefully that'll help me pull it away too. Let me just fix that. Hey, not yet. Don't you do anything. There we go. Give me a curve. Yeah, last I heard you were going to a nutritionist. I, Let me see what you wrote. Now you see why I'm asking to write as much of the story as possible at once, so I don't have to keep getting up and down. Now you see why I'm not on YouTube all the time. I talked to the doctor and told her that there was a problem with the medication. What she did was prescribe you 4 medications, and 1 out of the 4 is the same one. Yep, doc, you got a shitty doctor. They're not reading everything. Hey, Scotty. How are you? Yeah, I don't do YouTube very much because it's hard for me to communicate with people chatting. Like when you type, I have to get up and go to my computer to read what it says because it's too far away. So how are you? I am doing very well. You know, usual old lady issues. Aside from that, good news, I am going to be in a gallery. I got into a gallery. So the whole month of May, my art is going to be covering the walls. It's a small gallery. But I have over 30 paintings. And this one is not done, but I'm not sure if it'll be in there or not. It's not the same kind of thing I'm doing in general, so I might not include this. So what have you been up to? Okay, let me go get another project. I'm working on things in tandem. So while this is drying and I can't touch it, I have something else I can touch. Wow, it looks like rain is going to come in. I don't know why those kids are just all clumped together and playing like right between properties, like they don't dare cross the line. That's so weird. Been busy here with work, doing something events for Christmas. Awesome. This was a test in this clay, but it's going to become a Christmas gift. I just don't know if it's dry or not. The edges are dry. Oh, okay. The gold did not change colors with this medium. Yay. This is my first time using triple thick. It's supposed to make ceramics look like they were glazed, like kiln fired. And obviously I do not have a kiln. So I have a background. And I must make sure that things will get through. You know, I don't actually celebrate any of the winter holidays. I celebrate all of them in the sense of it. The 3 holidays in December all are representing light. They're all about light. Now, for me, it's the light of divinity, of spirit, of what we really are. So I celebrate light. But I'm still making things that are going to end up being Christmas or Hanukkah gifts. I love the festivities, at least watching them from afar. Not always the group kind of person. In fact, I'm usually not. I usually like to just celebrate things by myself or with 1 or 2 friends. Do I want it to go through this? Oh, it has to go through this. Come on. You must pull through. Thank you. Okay. Okay, clumsy me. This is polished hemp. It's a pain in the butt to work with, generally speaking. But we're going to make sure we have plenty to work with. And not the whole roll. Thank you. Out of my way. Okay. Oh, this is getting old. Let's reuse this up. Oh my goodness, yes. Come on, you know I'm a complete mush. Don't you? I mean, I realize that Adam Sandler made a Hanukkah movie. No, it wasn't a bar mitzvah movie. Never mind. It wasn't Hanukkah. Oh, well, there is no Hanukkah movie that I'm aware of. The best we can do is get a couple of Hanukkah songs out of our famous people. So, yeah. Don't know. And so far I haven't heard anything about a movie on Kwanzaa. And, you know, that's December wrapped up. Don't you be sticking to nothing you're not supposed to. No. Here, pull up a little. Just a little. There shouldn't be anything sticking out. Okay. Believe me, this is necessary. It's not just a nice finishing touch. This is unfired clay. That means it's very fragile. So, you know. Stay. Thank you. All right, now we do not want this to be overly long. I think that's pretty good right there. My favorite Christmas movie, oh God. Well, I just watched Elf, because, you know, you gotta. And my romantic one, of course, is White Christmas, hands down, because the best things happen while you're dancing, you know, and that's all there's to it. What about you? I know there's a bunch of new ones. I haven't seen some of the new ones, but if you have some recommendations, it has to be no drama. We are in no drama mama zone. Mama don't want no drama. Okay, I think. All right, let me put this on the wall and let me see if it works. You know, thumbtack. All my paintings are hanging by thumbtacks. All right, it works. We did it. Look at that. Christmas gift number 1. Oh my God, those are great. I own those also. It's hard to choose, isn't it? Those are 2 top-notch comedies right there. And, of course, the ending of Scrooged. Well done. Oh, Christmas Story. I have been trying to show that to Rich. Like when he visits, we watch movies that he would otherwise never see. Because, you know, guy, girl thing. I love Christmas Story, and it is such a classic. I mean, that was basically an instant classic. I've never seen Home Alone, although some people love that one. But Christmas Vacation. Yeah. Definitely. All right, now, polished hemp has a way of untying itself. So I have to put a little something to make sure it doesn't. Now, I know once this stuff hardens, it's a done deal. Can't always count on it being ready to go. Plugs itself up all the time. Okay, where are you? Uh-oh. Anybody see where I put that needle? Should I yet? Oh, right there. Good. We even have a longer one available. Oh, yeah. At the end of this bottle, there's going to be a bunch of little chunks there. Oh, wait a second. Can I? a heart. Look at that. Yeah, open in browser. Okay. What? Oh, I have to sign in to chat. Only movie. I have not yet seen that. I've had that one recommended and still have not seen that. I have to wait for things to come around on Amazon Prime. I did have the honor of a free ride on a friend's Netflix, but they gave up Netflix to save money. And I totally understand. Now, there's supposedly an inexpensive version of it a month for people like me, I guess, if you're willing to watch commercials, which I'm not. But the truth is, I just can't do another monthly bill. I'm still paying off a root canal and eyeglasses on my care credit, so I'm not adding to anything. I have a couple of store credit cards. I don't use them unless it's absolutely urgent, like, you know, if you need winter shoes or a winter coat, it's like, yeah, you get out the store credit card and pay off a coat over time or whatever. But that's where I draw the line. It's not a frivolous thing to do. Believe me, I would get a new Fitbit if I could. I'm using a hair thing for a band. Do you know how hard it is to find those bands now? It's like, oh, you have to order them direct from China. You can't find anybody around who's carrying them. Why won't you do that? Do we need to cut you open a little more? You were surprising me. Let's try a finer needle. I do miss Netflix, I will tell you. There are several things on it that I really did enjoy and actually enjoy watching multiple times, like Is It Cake? I love that. I will watch both seasons multiple times just because it's so heartwarming without being maudlin or icky. Just cool. A competition where everybody's buddy, like they're rooting for each other. They're sad when each other loses, even though they want to win. It's like, yeah, you're my kind of people. Let's hang. Santa Claus. Oh yes, I've got all three of those. I have all three Santa Claus movies. Tim Allen is great in them. I thought they did such a nice job with the special effects. I have to say, Martin Short, I know he was playing a role, but even though I think part of his personality does match, I just don't like seeing him in little evil parts. They've got to be fun as hell to play, though. Nevertheless, I don't know. I guess Martin Short is so cute. When I see him, I always think of him as just a soft-hearted guy. I like to see the soft side of him. And I'd rather keep it that way. I like to see the best in people. And I'd rather not meet them, you know, if they're going to show their less nice sides. And we all have them, you know, it's human, but I love some people just for entertaining, you know, like I don't want to see their human side. I just like them as actors. which may not be fair of me, but you know. Wait a second, I can't read that. I've got to come over there. Santa Claus the movie, the really old one? No, I don't know. You mean not the Tim Allen one? I'm talking about The Santa Claus. No, I don't know that one, I don't think. Wow. Santa Claus, the movie in the 80s. Come on, you can do it. 1985. Oh, Dudley Moore was in that? Oh my God. I love Dudley Moore. Well, no, I have not seen that. I'm quite sure. Now I have to look for it. The Legends are it looks good. 6.2 on the Rotten Tomatoes scale. That's pretty good, considering how people, you know. John Lithgow, David Huddleston. He's funny. Burgess Meredith. Oh my God. Yeah, okay, I gotta look it up. Maybe I'd be lucky. And it's available on Prime. What cast? Okay, thank you. Yeah, Dudley Moore. Oh, you know, I just think, you know, have you seen Good Omens? Let's see, how do I get to my channel? Me. Let's try that. Make sure my sound is off. Yeah, got it. I can chat on my phone. It has a sister from Keeping Up Appearances. Oh, I don't know that one. Oh, wait, no, we don't want the sound. Thank you. I can chat now. Cool. All right, so it's the phone that will work with this. And remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Of course. Oh, my tea is out. All right. Do not get stuck to anything. No. Oh my goodness, look at that. We don't want marks. It is really thick. Triple thick is not a joke. It is really, really thick. But it worked on this gold, and it did not change the color. And that's what this experiment was primarily about. All right, so now this is going to go into a Christmas card. Excuse me. All right, an experiment that turned out to be profitable. I don't want to glue it to anything. All right, this is, yeah, a waste. It dressing up as an elf. I have done that. That's so fun. So you're doing it for, what is it? Are you going to play? Or you're, yeah, what are you doing exactly? Are you accompanying Santa? And you've got to send me a picture of that. That's going to be too cute because you're adorable. I realize with your height, adorable elf might sound funny, but you know, with the elf human size, I think, you know, you're fine. Oh. That sounds awesome. And what will be your duties, Mr. Elf? Don't tell me that I'm going to be sitting on a shelf the entire time we have a party. Now it's time to turn on my new cool mini glue gun. Because of that, I'm making snowflakes. The management of this building is giving us a catered holiday party. First time since I've been living here. So I'm making decorations. I'm making snowflakes. I have a few more of these to cut out. I'm going to do that over the weekend. We'll do some of those tomorrow morning while I'm warming up with the Sunday show. But what I do have to do, doing a different do, is this. Other people want to get in on it, and it turns out, like, this is what I used last year. I special ordered these. I got 100 bags, and 100 bags was smaller than this by far, because these are super lightweight. Now, since they're going to be composted after, I wanted to do something that was going to be more environmentally friendly. And I'm so glad I found those. Now, this is not, these can be composted. It's not the same in terms of, oh yay, they use recycled paper. I would guess offhand, I don't know, let's see. Certified sourcing, recycle if clean and dry. Paper and the plastic wrap. All right. Sustainable Forestry Initiative, that means this is virgin fiber. They did not use any recycled matter in this. When they start quoting the forest, that's so you don't see the trees as they cut them down. All right, these bigger ones, we use 8 bags for this. Help the kids write the letter to Santa. Aww. Aw, that's so sweet. I don't envy you. How old is the youngest kid? Is it forming a drop? I think it is. By Jove. Well, by George. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Let's do a bit of this. Hey, come on down. Hey, no, I just strung it right across my coffee cup. Okay, we will let that cool and harden. In the meantime, let's make another mess, because it's melting and it's coming out of the gun. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Ow. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, we use this for a minute, since it wasn't that hot, but I did touch it with the brass tip. You don't know the different ages. We're keeping you close by because apparently I'm far more of a klutz than I assumed. All right, now let's see if we can not do that again. Let's move that over. Well, Scotty, how are you with kids in general? You're such a cheerful young man. I would assume you're pretty good. I, on the other hand, don't relate to children until they're very verbal, like, 16 or so. No, I just don't have anything to say to children. I don't raise them. I didn't raise them. I prefer to be around dogs, cats, and adults. The occasional squirrel and ferret. But children don't really interest me very much. I've got a dear friend who is obsessed with them. Whenever we would go out to just do some little bit of grocery shopping, we'd have to stop by all the children's clothes. And even though the family was not in the process of waiting for a baby, she would get really little baby clothes and give it to somebody who was pregnant or just gave birth, just to be able to buy baby clothes. So, I love her dearly. That's not one of the things we have in common. I have 3 younger sisters. They each had children. When my mom asked, when am I going to give her a grandchild, I said, why? You already have the others. Don't worry, they'll take care of you and your grandkids. And my mom was definitely that kind of a person. She loved little kids. Didn't like kids after they got bigger. See, exact opposite in me. I thought that's when they got interesting. She liked them while they still were like really innocent and looked up to you like your God, you know. That was not me after 7. But Mom's remembered, even in her dementia, in her last days, before she had her final stroke that led to a coma and, you know, her passing, Mom remembered the great-grandchildren, the 2 little girls. When they showed up, it clicked all the right buttons for her, and of course that made everybody happy. And she said the same thing to them that she always said when she saw them. She said, "You come here, my dears," or something like that. "You are delicious. You're just delicious." Those little kids, and she just loved the hell out of them. So Mom, she could relate to them somehow. All right, now, just sit there a minute. This is a rechargeable, and it only gets a couple of minutes of activity before it's got to recharge. All right. Nere blister. Maybe a little mark. We're good. I'll put the ice pack away. Up and take away this little berry of stuff. Oh, hold on, let me get Miss Kimball out of the way here. Dear Santa, well, that was not good, was it? You cooled it down that fast? Can you come up without destroying this? A little bit. You're supposed to stick. What kind of reputation will I have as an interior decorator of snowflakes if you fall apart when we hang you up? I think we got it this time. Feels hot. Just charge. All right, now this one. This is little trick is a little hotter. And there you go. Hey, my little twinkle lights, come back on. There you go. They're not twinkling, but that's okay. Ouch. It didn't really burn, but it was a surprise. All right. Nope, we need these. Come back. We're not done. Come here. Cut that out. Okay. We got another one done. Paper snowflakes out of lunch bags. Now, it's really easy to turn these into flowers instead, just by the shapes of the cuts. The first one I did actually looked just like a flower. So it's pretty cool. And I learned also you can put some coloring on the edges, but that should really be done before you do the cutting. And I did not do it this time. But after all, they're snowflakes, so white and gray is a snowflake. And then romantically, we do it blue and sparkly. Okay. Now let's see what we can do with this. I want to bring this down in size quite a bit. So let's get out our Ray of Fucking Sunshine pencil. Oh yes, I forgot to warn you. This is for 18 and over my channel. Because I don't work with children. And sometimes I have a mouth on me, you know what I mean? Like as if I was from New York. I'm looking for my sunshine pencil, and it became invisible, like my phone, when I knock it onto the floor. Feeling is just an illusion. No, I don't need a quiz. Let's see if I can find my channel again. Looks great. I'm not sure. There we go. All right. We've got you back. Oh, no. You get back here. You have to charge. All right, so we've got, let's see, we've got the middle here. I want to knock some of this off. I finally replaced these scissors. These are not it. These are the old ones. The good ones are in the kitchen where I use them the most. I actually need to get these sharpened, but I have to remember to bring them to the senior center and leave them. Now that I've got another pair I can use, I can afford to let these go for a month. I don't get to the senior center often. All right. Now, snowflakes are really easy because you can just get away with straight cuts. You don't have to do angles, or I mean, other than like triangles. You just do different sized triangles and you've got it made. When you open it up, it looks all lacy and cool, and you go, wow, how did you do that? It looks cool. And, you know, because you're cutting through 7 or 8 paper bags, which is twice that in actual sheets of paper when you think about it, right? They're double, 2 sides of the bag. That's quite a lot. You don't want to get too fancy, especially if you've got a lot of these to do, because you'll have blisters on your fingers. Anybody who's ever made decorations for a bridal shower, a baby shower, and making your own stuff to hang up, you know at the end of the day, y'all are sore as hell. And you go, is this baby worth it? Sure it is. It's not yours. It's worth it to them. And so you're a nice friend and you will sit there and you will make them. Now, other ways to do stuff like this, you can just fold paper and get different effects. Paper flowers. I just saw, I did not watch it, but there was a tutorial on making these giant paper roses. I'm like, oh, it's beautiful. How the hell? And I watched it just enough to see that what she was doing was she got rolls of crepe paper. Like, oh, I don't need to watch anymore. Now I understand how she probably did this in record time too. Crepe paper is so stretchy, it does half the work for you just in how it's made. Stretch it a little bit here, there, and you get all these different shapes. Wire it together, voila, beautiful flowers. Things to dangle from your ceiling for parties. So what are y'all doing today? You have any plans for this weekend? take yourself out for the day. Go look at something beautiful. Well, Scotty, you're going to be writing letters to Santa for a while. After which you can reward yourself with a stiff drink. Just wait until after you're done, because you might find yourself laughing too much as an elf. Kids are funny. They're also little brats at times, but they're funny. Kids are... I like kids. I can't really relate to them in terms of let's sit down and play with kids. That's not my thing. But I do love seeing them have fun, and I love happy children, and I love their limitlessness, you know, and until someone starts putting crap in their head. They're amazing. You're lost in space. Were you not here when Scotty was saying he's helping children write? He's going to be dressed up like an elf, helping children write Christmas letters to Santa. Let's see. Oh yeah, we got lots of room. Hey, you're not supposed to come apart. Let's get back to it. Hey, come here. Got you cold, did you? Oh, okay. Well, can't help you with that. People's minds are their own. Well, is that a good or a bad thing? Happy dreams or nightmares? Real life dreams or what you're seeing in your sleep? I would hope that they're dreams about your own future. There we go. Whoa. we can make that lacier. Sleeping dreams. Oh, good. I don't usually remember my dreams. I don't have disturbing dreams unless it's something weird or something that sometimes if I'm trying not to get up and pee, I'll have weird dreams. Things that don't make sense, so they make me get up and go, what the hell? What are you thinking? Like, oh, I'm not thinking anything other than I don't want to wet the bed. Get up. You just texted a lady to let her know that she was in your dreams. Are you fucking crazy? Why would you do that? I don't think you realize women don't want to hear that. That makes us a little creeped out. Because we're wondering, why are we in your dreams? Are you in love with us? Wow, Maui. You do make your own drama, don't you? She's going to want to know what the dream was. So basically you said that so you would get a reaction. So she could ask you, what was it about? Why are you dreaming about me? You told her you had a meeting and you couldn't find her? I don't know. You just said you had a dream. So what's true? Hey, I did have a dream, so I told her. Wow. I'm sorry, that's kind of a dumb thing to do unless you're trying to start something. I thought you were the guy who doesn't want a relationship at this point. Who is this woman? How well do you know her? Is this someone you want to date? It's someone you went out on a date with? I mean, you have not mentioned any women other than crazy women and women you're trying to avoid until just now. Not counting doctor kinds of people. So, yeah. In the dream, you and her were supposed to meet. Okay. And what was the real life version? It sounds like you should meet her. Maybe you're ready. Oh, that's a little more interesting. All right. All right, these are bigger. We're not going to want these hanging down as far. I wasn't questioning that you really had the dream. I'm questioning why you told her. Oh. All right. An older woman who you're just friends with. How much older? Okay, so it sounds like maybe you two should have gotten together, but your timing was off. You missed your entrance into this world. And you arrived later than she did. Are things meant to be? No. Do we fuck up? Yes. When I say things aren't necessarily meant to be, we do make arrangements where we're hoping to meet up with certain people, but things happen. We end up in the wrong place at the wrong time. Other people interfere with our comings and goings, and we find ourselves delayed. Yeah, well, if you had been perhaps on time, you'd be in your late 70s as well. But you were a little late. So you just have a different path. Well, it's nice that you have a friend that you could trust to just have a normal conversation with. Where'd I put those? Oh, there they are. A normal conversation. That'll work. Timing. So what did she say? How cool? Maybe we should get together? Well, are you still going to that church? I thought that church was on a different island, or the other side of the island. Yay! All right, this is the first one done of the larger size. Holy mackerel. Here we go. One. I can do that next one. All right. Yeah, where am I going to hang this one up? Running out of room. Whoa. We don't want you doing that. It melted the plastic tablecloth egads. I think we can turn you off for now. We'll come back to you tomorrow. Like you might move to the mainland. Really? Why would you get that out of that dream? Is that what you want to do? Oh, that did come out nice. All right. All right, we got this project done. It looks like the triple thick is just fine on the highly polished metal flake. Good adhesion. Dried in a reasonable amount of time. All right. Air dry clay. Yeah, maybe. I can't imagine why you would want to move back to the mainland. Especially if you like warm weather. Right now, everywhere there is warm weather down south, you're looking at the future migration. Because right now, it's okay. But it's definitely going to get so hot they're not going to be able to live down there. They're going to be moving up north. And, you know, keep that in mind if you move back to the mainland. Do not go back down south. That is nowhere to live now. It's got the worst in healthcare, worse than this, worse than that. It's just a mess. But, you know, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Obviously, you have to go with your own inner being. If it feels good, makes you happy to think about something, that's the right direction to take. But if you start getting tense or upset about it, you're going the wrong direction again. You have to be familiar with your feelings so you can separate momentary feelings for the ones that are bigger, deeper, and longer lasting. You know, because you have to use those feelings to determine where you're going to be. If you're thinking of leaving Maui, then You got a lot of thinking to do, and you better be clear, because you will never be able to afford to go back to Hawaii. So you have to look at it as a permanent move, unless it's just a vacation. Hi, Marcus. I'm just finishing up. I've finished this project. This was my first experiment with an air-dried clay, because I needed to test out this new stuff that I never tried before, triple thick, to see how well it works, because I needed to use clay on this project, which I'll be working on again tomorrow. Because I wanted to use real clay to do the eyelids. So this is the first time I've ever tried using a real clay on a canvas. Actually, it's much more. It's the third eye, our eyes. This represents the unmanifest energy, the source of all, and the focus always has to go through the third eye. Our sensory eyes. The blue mouth represents our throat chakra. Here is the heart, showing it in two states. One where part of it is collapsed, it's depressed. You see the water representing our emotions is more turbulent. Here where the heart has been allowed to flower and open up, the energy, the water, is much more smooth. You can see that a little close. Now what's going to happen next, after I get all my three-dimensional objects down. Oops, sorry. Oh. Ow. Exie, hi. Exie has been watching this since day one. It's been a lot of days, because you have to go so far and then you gotta let it dry or harden and then come back. So we got the first part of the eyes down today, but they're gonna dry overnight or the next 2 days, because air dry clay is slow. It can take 3 days. And when it is done, it'll have shrunken just a little bit. Not very much. It's cool. But we're going to see exactly how much with these two pieces. And because it's clay and it's not glued to this, and this is already got a coat of acrylic on it, they may just pop right off, which is my hope. Then I can sand them, put them back on with adhesive, and make it a permanent part of the art. And then we work on the upper eyelid. But this is, you know, like you can see the three-dimensional stuff here for the tears that come down. So this is the tears of joy and sorrow, but it's part of, you know, the turbulent part of life that makes us less certain of what direction to take. Now, I have something more fun. This is more metaphysical, philosophical stuff, but this is right out now. This is Sun Deity number 2, and my experiments have been all due to this stuff. I put down all this beautiful metal flake, only to discover that the stuff I use to seal it wipes out all the color and reduces it to basic gold and copper and bronze. And all the beautiful magentas and blues just get dissolved and float up into the stuff I'm using to coat it with. So it's a no, just a plain no. So I've been trying all these different things to see what I can do to coat it without destroying it. Thanks. So I got the earring done. That was a paper. I made a paper mache out of toilet paper, and made a ring. Gold plated it. Not gold plated. I'm sorry. Gold foiled it, and then adhered it. So we've got the earring. Now it's called Sun Deity number 2. Sundini number 1 is in my bedroom, smiling at me. Yeah, right? It's called Triple Thick Brilliant Brush On Gloss Glaze. It's supposed to make clay look like it's been fired. So that's the first test. This is the air dry clay that I used on the painting, and I turned it into a little ornament gift. This will go into a Christmas card. So yeah, that's the Triple Thick right there, and I brushed it on and even piled it up, and you can see, well, I don't know if how well the camera's showing it, but it's very dimensional. Really brilliant, right? So yeah, I'm happy with that. But it still is not, well, here we've got a bunch of tests. So here we okay, see how beautiful bronze and silver and all that, like magenta. Let's see what that does. Oh, it's milky right now, so. See, well, this had beautiful magenta all over it, and 2 different mediums just dissolved the shit out of it. Here I had beautiful blue-green, like peacock. It melted it, turned it into like a verdigris. Here, it just melted it and turned it into like a black haze suspended in the medium. Like, no. So this is my last hope that the triple glaze will not chemically mess up my beautiful colors here. But it did. Yep, instantaneously. Beautiful gloss, beautiful glaze, wipes out my color. Okay, now I have to wait for the delivery of it's red like this, super shiny, same company makes this. It's going to arrive in a little thing like that, but it's going to be a red shiny stuff. I'm going to try my mediums on that. We'll see what happens. If it remains red and shiny, we have a winner, and then I'm not going to be afraid to do that. I can end up, I'll make red lips. You know, like I'll miss all this beautiful, the stripes and stuff, but there's no way to protect it. So if I can't make something the way I like it, I'm going to end up having to sell this for way less than I intended originally. After all the hours I've put in it so far, I will end up simplifying it, finishing it off, and going, okay, for sale. Sometimes you just have to do that. So tomorrow we will work more on this, and we'll work more on the other one I was working. Yep. Yeah, Mod Podge, I love Mod Podge, but Mod Podge is water-based, and I'll have the same issue. If it's water-based, it's going to dissolve whatever they're using to color the foil. So if the red foil holds its color, we're in, because the same company is making a beautiful purple, a blue, and a green, and a silver, and like 3 or 4 shades of gold. So I'll be able to do more with color. But this is just heartbreaking. And the reason I'm desperate to cover it is that I know what happens to foils if they're not made out of real gold, and trust me, these are not. Real gold can handle humidity without turning green, but this stuff, if it's exposed to too high a humid environment, over time it might change color. I can't guarantee it. And if I'm not here 25 years from now and someone paid a bunch of money for this, well, I'll be dead. But still, that's a horrible thing, and I try to make my work last 25 to 100 years at minimum. So it's important, that you know your materials. And this is a new material for me, but I just so fell in love with it, and I'm having so much fun with it. I did not run the tests before I did that, because I assumed, unfortunately, and like I said, assume makes an ass out of you and me, and it did in this case. I assumed it was going to react to everything the exact same way this did. It'll keep its shine and color, no problem. And instead, I just showed you what it does. It just completely deletes the color. Lifts it right off the metal, and that's that. And so much subtle stuff in here between the different coppers and bronze. If that gets changed and all flattened out so it all looks like the same bronze, some of the art is gone. I put this on piece by piece, a little flake at a time. Well, they have, if you go to a museum, it's full of paintings that are over 100 years old. A lot of them are over 400 years old. And people pay a lot of money for that, for things that have been around a long, long time. And when we create art, we should know our materials well enough to produce things that will also last a long, long time. I know in America, they think 25 years old is an antique. But that's because their oldest city is less than 300 years old. Send them to Barcelona, a city over 2,000 years old. 2,000 years old, a city. They have the definition of antique is somehow way different than ours. They would laugh at us that we tear down buildings. 25 years old, it's an old building. It's like a 25 years old, it's a baby. Why aren't you taking care of it? So different mindsets. So when a lot of people do art, if they know their materials, they make them to last a long time because they put all this love and effort into their canvas. They want people to enjoy it way beyond their lifetime. And for those people who don't think about those things, they produce art that it's never going to get a big price because it's made out of crap. And it's going to look like that as time goes on. It's just going to look crappier and crappier. If you don't have like the right pigments, they'll fade with light. They'll fade with time. They'll fade with the wrong things on top of them. So you need to know your materials. And I've been experimenting because I got some cool materials that I never had available when I was selling art materials, in the 80s. So now we've got beautiful, this stuff. I love this stuff, but it has its limits. And so that's why I wanted the clay for the other one to do the eyelids, because I feel like I can't express myself with this the same way I can with clay. Still, where was it? It's snowflakes out yonder here. Oh no, where are you, Marcus? Are you in the Great White North or the Great White Middle of the country? I'm in Connecticut. We have, some serious looking rain clouds out there, but it has not yet begun raining. Oh my God. Oh my God, no wonder. You will not go out for days. Okay, question. Do you take a lot of pictures of the lake effect stuff? Because we who don't live around the Great Lakes are astonished every winter. We cannot get enough of your misery. Not that you're miserable, that I don't wish on you, but the amazing specter of a house completely encased in freaking ice. Mind-blowing, mind-blowing. And of course, things that freeze as they're being blown because they finally get cold enough and wet enough and frightening. It's like a science fiction landscape. At the same time, it's just the most amazingly beautiful, beautiful scene. Yeah. I would think some, if it's too dull and you're not getting any of the right angles and sparkle, and it could be pretty dull. A lot of gray, I would think. I am. I have been on for almost 3 hours. Matter of fact, I've been on for 3 hours. I will be back. Well, tomorrow's Sunday, right? No, Sunday morning at 10:30, I'm on Twitch. And this is my first stream in a while here on YouTube because I don't have the control over it that I have on Twitch. But Twitch has been, this week, been dropping a lot. And so I've got 1,400 followers there. And I just have a couple hundred here. So I spend most of my time on Twitch during the week. But I really like YouTube. And yeah, be nice to be here too. Yep, tomorrow, Sunday, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. What time is it for you right now? It is 4:47 p.m. That means it's time to make dinner. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like no one has complained that it's frozen up or anything. I've been having that problem like several times in a stream. So tomorrow I'll do the Twitch, but I'll let everybody know when I come back from lunch, because I do the Twitch morning and then I take lunch and then I come back. So when I come back, I'll come back to YouTube. 3:46. All right, yeah, you're an hour earlier. So 9:30 in the morning for you. I'll be on until usually 12:30. I don't make it I don't have a rule about it. Like I said in the beginning of this stream, remember that you have control of the fast forward. I do long streams because when I get here, I spend as much time as possible painting and doing my art. And also, I'm an Olga, old lady giving advice. So there are times that I'm answering and supporting people while I'm painting, or I stop while I'm talking. I love mashed potatoes. Oh, I dump it every day. Every single day. And also at the end of the day, I get rid of every tracker that I picked up. Because if you go to YouTube, you can pick up a couple thousand easily. So yeah, I make sure everything's clear. I'm a big security freak. I have Malwarebytes watching things, as well as, you know, Windows Defender. I don't mind retyping them. I prefer the security to laziness, but that's just me. I'm an old lady. I like security, and I can remember my passwords. I only do so many websites, so I have only so many passwords. So I'll be back tomorrow. Also tomorrow on Twitch, we'll be working more on the gingerbread house rocks. I turn rocks into little houses. So we're going to do some more work on that. We just added the smoke from the chimney here for this one today. And I'll start putting the little cookie windows up. And yeah, we do, I do some of these every year around this time. Actually, usually before this time, I like to be working on them in October. I had so many other things I had to do, though we didn't get that. So we're doing it now, a little behind the schedule. All right, darlings. I will be on Twitch tomorrow at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, and then in the afternoon I will be back. No, I like security. So yeah. Oh my goodness, of course. When I got my first computer in 1986, I was in love with it. And I went to a local college and took a weekend workshop just in how to clean it, take it apart, put it back together again. And after that, I built the next two computers. So I love computers. But then I got laptops, and laptops were another animal because I couldn't get the damn backs off. And I felt intimidated by something I couldn't take apart and check out the inside myself. So I'm out of laptops now. I just have my Kindles and my desktop. But yeah, I've learned a lot about viruses, Trojans, and worms, and I have had to get rid of them. Oh God, yeah. I learned how to run my computer on DOS. Learned how to program everything. You know, when you have to write out all your commands. So my DOS book was this thick. I loved it. It was like speaking another language. I felt like super smart. But things change so quickly, you know? And I will tell you, when they first came out with Windows, I didn't realize Windows was a DOS-based creation, but it's like, oh, okay, so now instead of having to draw this whole tree and build this tree, you've got one click and you open up a program. Holy shit, it was great. So yeah, I liked it. I liked Windows. Yeah, MS-DOS was before a lot of people's time. All right, my dear. Nice to see you. Have a wonderful afternoon, rest of the day. And I will be back on Twitch tomorrow morning. I hope you can join us. If not, I'll be back here in the afternoon.